guys, it's Kristen. Welcome back to my channel. As you can tell from the title, today's video I'm going to be talking about my job as a registered behavior technician. I'm going to be sharing my story, how I became one, and just kind of explaining what a RBT is, because a lot of people I feel like have no idea what this job is. And if you are new here, be sure to subscribe down below and give this video a thumbs up, because that would really help me grow. And we are getting so close to my goal of 1,000 subscribers, and I appreciate the support each and every one of you guys show me. It truly makes me so happy, and I love you all so much. I went back and forth about if I should make this video or not, because there's a few other videos on YouTube about how to become a registered behavior technician, but I just really wanted to share my story, and if this video can help even one of you become an RBT or find a job that they love half as much as I love my job, that is what I wanted to do. So I just hope you all find the job that makes you as happy as mine makes me. If it's not an RBT, I'm still happy for you. If it is, I'm really happy for you. Also, I have my iPad here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm looking at. I have the BACB website pulled up here, and the BACB is the Behavior Analyst Certification Board, and they're kind of the overarching organization that's in charge of the Registered Behavior Technician credential, as well as the Board Certified Behavior Analyst credential, which oversees the RBTs, which I'll get into all of that. I'm going to break it down so it's really simple for you guys. I guess the first thing I should answer is, what is a Registered Behavior Technician? The abbreviation for it is RBT, so I'm going to be using those terms interchangeably in this video. But according to the BACB, the RBT is a paraprofessional certified in behavior analysis. They assist in delivering behavior analysis services, practice under the direct and close supervision of a supervisor who is responsible for all the work the RBTs perform. So basically, my boss is a BCBA. So she is a board certified behavior analyst. She has her master's degree in this and has way more education and experience and all that. So basically, she will originally see the client, assess the client that is diagnosed with autism, and come up with a treatment plan for them, and then the RBT goes to the house and executes the treatment plan. And the BCBA has to oversee the RBT for a certain amount of hours. Like, my boss comes maybe once a week or every other week to oversee me and make sure that the client is progressing, the child is meeting their target goals, and all of that good stuff. I hope that made sense. I'll link the website down below that has the Registered Behavior Technician Handbook, so you guys can read up and research it a bit more if that was still confusing. But basically, my boss creates the plan for the child that is diagnosed with autism, and then I execute the plan. Before I get into the requirements of how you can become a registered behavior technician, I just wanted to share my story with you guys, because I just think it's such a God story, and I just really want to tell you guys it. So yeah. May of last year, a little over a year ago, obviously, since it is currently June, I was working an on-campus job, and I really just was feeling in a weird place, because I knew I was going to be going to grad school. If you didn't know, I'm starting physical therapy school in a few months. I knew I was going to be going to grad school, so I needed to have a job. I needed to be saving up money for grad school, but I felt like with my exercise science degree, there wasn't really any jobs that I could get that related to my field other than being a PT aide or a PT technician. There was absolutely no jobs available, so I was just feeling really frustrated at this time in my life. And then I was at a friend's birthday party around the same time last May, and a lot of the upperclassmen, graduating seniors, in my sorority were at that party. So I was talking to this one girl named Abigail. I doubt she's watching this, but if she is, I love you. You literally changed my life. So I was talking to her, and she was like, oh, I think I'm gonna go home soon. I have work really early in the morning. And I just was making small talk and was like, oh my gosh, where do you work? And she was like, oh, I'm a registered behavior technician. And I was like, what the heck is that? And then she was like, oh, I work with kids that are diagnosed with autism, and kind of explained it to me. And I was like, that literally sounds like something that would be perfect for me. And then I kind of explained to her how I was looking for a job that was going to be relating to my future. And she was like, oh my gosh, well, they're hiring. Let me give you my boss's number. So I got an interview, and then another interview, and one thing led to another, and I got the job. You may be confused how someone that has an exercise science degree somehow wants to work with special needs kids and physical therapy and special needs, and how all of that connects together. So I want to be a pediatric PT. I actually did a ton of shadowing at a pediatric clinic, and this particular clinic, and most pediatric clinics, I feel have speech, OT, which is occupational therapy, and physical therapy all in one building, and they treat kids that primarily have special needs, or it could just be like a young kid that broke their arm or something, but primarily they work with kids that have special needs. So working as a registered behavior technician has given me so much experience just interacting, communicating, just learning so much about kids with autism and how their minds work, and it just has been like the most the most priceless experience and the best job ever. I'm unfortunately going to be ending my RBT career this August as I start physical therapy school, and I am literally crushed about it. Like, I'm so upset. It's going to be so hard to say goodbye to all my kids because I've been seeing the same kids since I started over a year ago, and I've gotten really close to them and their families, and it's literally gonna be so sad to leave. Like, I'm tearing up thinking about it. Going back to my iPad and the BACB website, I'm going to be telling you how you can become an RBT. Requirement number 1, you need to be at least 18 years old and you need to have graduated from high school. Step number 2, pass a background check. Next, you need to complete a 40-hour training course. So you can either find a course online, pay for it yourself, take it yourself, and then apply for jobs. But what I recommend is applying for jobs first, because most jobs will pay for your 40-hour training course. Mine did that, and I feel like it's just a better option, honestly, instead of just laying out money, taking the course, and then maybe not even being able to find employment as an RBT in your area. After you complete your 40-hour training course, you have to pass the initial competency assessment. So basically, the behavior analyst that is overseeing you, so my boss, the person who hired me, she is going to assess you working with the child, basically to just make sure you know what you're doing. Do you know what discrete trial training is? Do you know what prompting is, shaping is, chaining is? Just basically like kind of quizzing you and seeing if you know like the basic terms and stuff. And if you can pass that assessment, honestly, you can pass the next part, which I'm going to talk about. After you finish your 40-hour online training and after your boss has signed off and you've passed the initial competency assessment, then you need to take the actual RBT exam at a piercing view testing center. So you have to go on the BACB website and you have to create an RBT certification application. So you basically put in all your information. You put in your behavior analyst that is overseeing you, aka your boss. You have to put in all of her information. Then it'll send her a link to sign off that she's approving you, and she's basically like sponsoring you to become an RBT, pretty much, saying that you're going to be working under her and she's confident in you and you passed the competency assessment that I just talked about. So then you submit that application, and once that is approved, then you're finally approved to take the written RBT exam. And like I said, this is a multiple choice exam that you take at a piercing view testing center, so hopefully there's a location close to you, and you get the results right after you take the exam. Like literally when you walk out the building, they will give you a handout that says, "Congrats, you passed," or I don't know what the other option is because I did pass, and I'm pretty sure most people I know that have taken this exam have passed on their first time, because like I said, if you can pass the initial assessment with your supervisor, you should be able to pass the written portion, because honestly, it is not so easy. It is much easier to memorize definitions and terms than it is to apply them and actually work with a kid. Like you could get a 100 on your written assessment and then be a terrible RBT, or you could vice versa. Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's completely different, memorizing terms and applying them. So if you can apply them in your competency assessment, you should have no issues with your written assessment. So those are all your steps. Once you get your final certification, after you pass the written exam, you are ready to be an RBT. You have that license then for a year from the testing date. So I got certified last August, and I'll have my certification till this August. And you can either renew it when it's about to expire, or you can apply to go inactive, which is what I'm doing, since I sadly will not be working as an RBT. As far as I know, things might change. I kind of hope they do, because I'm gonna miss this job so much. But yes, you can either go inactive or renew it the next year. And I know this seems like a lot, but all in all, it honestly took me like a month and a half to finish, which is not that bad at all. And I feel like it might depend on your agency, but my agency let me still work with some kids before I had my license. I think it just depends on like the insurance companies that the families have, if you need to have the actual RBT credential, or you can just be kind of an RBT by training. So definitely when you're applying to agencies, that's something to ask them, like, will I be able to get hours and start before like I actually have my license? Because that would be kind of frustrating if you couldn't. I meant to mention this in the beginning, but the average pay for an RBT is $16 an hour, so not only is it a great experience if you want to work with special needs kids, but it also pays really well, so that's also a bonus. So I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. If I left anything out or you have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave them down below. Like I said, I just want to help anyone that is looking to become a registered behavior technician, because if it wasn't for that one girl in my sorority that I happened to talk to like once ever at one party ever, I would not have known about this. And I just want more people out there to know about this job, because it truly has changed my life. Like, not to be dramatic, I'm not even kidding. Like, working with these little kiddos and like their families and my bosses and my coworkers, like, it just has made me such a more compassionate person, a more patient person, and just a better person. Like, I can't even put into words what this job has done for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, friends!
My gloss